friends, it's Kim back from Making Creative Memories in Time, and today I am here with the lovely Autumn Cottage collection, and I am just doing a quick flip of the papers. Love this. It's like a beautiful knitted sweater. Love this plaid, and I am going to love how distressed and rustic that is. I am going to be making my very first ever Creative Memories border. An actual border that's put together with papers and punch and custom circle cutting system. So hopefully you will enjoy this process. And here I am just trying to decide which papers I'm using. I start out with a 2x12 of this very distressed pumpkin and tangerine paper. I feel like I want that to be the base of the border. And again, that's 2x12. And then I am going to pull this beautiful green, it's like an avocado green, perfect for fall, that looks like a knit sweater. And I cut that down to 1.5 by 12. And then you will see me layer those together, leaving about 1/4 of an inch on each edge. So basically I just center this avocado green right down the middle of that pumpkin and tangerine paper, and I just put some adhesive right in the center there. And I really like those two colors together, that green and those oranges. Beautiful. And now I am going to pull out that stack of paper, and I'm going to start working on my circle element. Now let me tell you, I cut a lot of that process out of this video. I kept changing my mind about what papers I wanted to use. I wanted pops of the orange and the green, and I just couldn't get happy with what I was using. So you will see me make multiple attempts here at the circle. So while I'm getting that set up, I want to take a moment to say thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, leave a comment that lets YouTube know that you enjoy the content I like, and it helps me with the algorithm. And if you are a subscriber already, thank you for subscribing. If you are not, and you would feel that you would enjoy or benefit from the content I post, I would love to have you hit subscribe and the notification bell over to the side so you don't miss out on anything. So here's where you're going to see me fiddle around. First, I think I want all those beautiful watercolor fall trees and leaves, and I'm contemplating, thinking, man, there's a lot of orange, there's a lot of yellow. I'm really gonna need to think about this. I choose to continue to go with some of the yellow, and so I'm going to cut another circle here, and the flip side of that is that fall leaf paper. Again, you're going to see me move around and do lots of different circles, and even some of that process is going to be cut out for you. So I'm cutting another circle, and I'm thinking about layering this up. I do like that. However, I'm just thinking to myself, okay, what's going to come next here? There's lots of color. It's beautiful. It's bright. You're going to see me cut yet one more circle. And I'm just thinking, how am I going to work this together? And this one is a little bit bigger, just so that it doesn't have as much of that bright color. And then you're going to see me moving around through the paper, trying to choose a pattern or a shade that is going to help ground all of this. And so I pull that beautiful wood grain. It's beautiful dark brown, and you're going to see me pull that in to ground it all. So I'm going to cut that 2.5 by 12. And then when I adhere the existing border strip to that, you're going to see just how that grounds it. I absolutely love how this looks once I attach the oranges, excuse me, and the greens to that dark brown. It just, in a way, adding that neutral just neutralizes or pulls together some of that color. Love that. So now I am rethinking what I was doing for my circle element, and it's very bright still, and so you're going to see me pull in the wood grain. And I cut a couple different, here's where I cut some out. I cut a couple different sizes, and then I ended up wanting the largest circle that I used to also be that wood grain, because that sort of grounded this circle element, or this cluster, if you will, together. And so here I am using the red blade on the smallest custom cutting circle template, and that's going to be the base. And this is where I feel like I decide that I am not going to use that leaf paper, but you're going to see me pull in the larger circle cutting system, and I'm just going to lay that directly down on the piece I had previously cut, and I'm going to cut the size I need out, and that will leave a ring. And I'm thinking about possibly using that ring on the layout. Here I am still thinking I'm going to use the leaves, and then I'm like, nope, those leaves are just too much. And I also did the same thing. I cut the gold out and left a little gold ring, but I just still couldn't get happy. There was way too much color happening with that leaf paper. And so you're going to see me pull in the reverse of that wood is like a beautiful neutral, like a false star pattern. And so you're going to see me pull that in, and I really like how that adds more neutral shade to this cluster that will be the title element. And so I use that, and then I put down that beautiful gold like sweater pattern. And so now I'm finally happy with that circle element, and I'm going to adhere all of this together, starting with that wood grain deep brown base, and then that star pattern is going to go down, and then I will lay the gold over that. And I really like how that lets the gold, which is the top circle element there, pop and let it be like the star. So whatever I put over that, it's really going to help separate that and lift that from the color of the actual border. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. But now I want some more of that star pattern in my border. And so you're going to see me where that edge is sort of half star. You're going to see me trim that section off. And then I am going to move in and cut just the section of that star that I need. And it actually ends up being about 3/4 of an inch. And so I'm going to adhere that directly down the center of this avocado green. That yet again is going to help ground and neutralize the color of that border. And then it's also going to bring that star pattern into the border itself. And so here you're just going to see me adhere that down, and then I will flip it over and trim it from the back side. And the reason I like to flip and trim from the back is I want to make sure that I am getting that straight, or as straight as it can be. And the little piece that I trim off the top there will end up being adhered to the bottom, just to make it look like that is one cohesive strip that goes down the center of the border. And again, I'll flip it over and trim from behind. So I'm really liking how this is neutralizing, grounding, coming together. And what you will see me work on next is the actual, what am I going to decorate this border with? It would be perfectly fine to leave it as it is and decorate the circle little element with a cluster in my title, but I wanted to pull in the Gourd Time punch, and I love this punch. And so you're going to see me use some of the circle pieces that I had cut that I didn't use, and then you're also going to see me cut from some of the other pattern paper. And first up here, I think I am using a piece of the gold. That was a circle I didn't use, and it's leaves on the back side, gold on the front. And so I punched just a bunch. I don't need everything I'm punching, but I want to have a variety. Here I'm punching some of the wood, and on the back of that is some of that beautiful star. And then I am going to pull in this sort of tangerine and orange, and I am going to punch on both sides of this. You're going to see me do that rustic area first, and then you're going to see me go into the leaves, and you're going to see that I move the punch around until I like the pattern that is in the gourds, and then I will punch based on like what patterns are going to be cut in the shapes, and I really like that. And you will see that I do use some of those when I am completing this border. I love it. And I want to say this punch sold out super quickly. So if you got it, kudos, yay. This Autumn Cottage is sold out. So hopefully if you picked it up, this inspires you to work on a border. And leave a comment and let me know if you got it. So here I am cutting 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 squares. And I want these squares to be the base of my little design element throughout my border. And I am going to cut 3 to go at the top part of this. And I actually cut a 4th that I thought I would somehow work in at the bottom, but my circle cluster was just too close to the bottom to actually be able to use that one. So I really like these, and I turn them diagonal and adhere them down, and then you will see me start picking up, being selective about colors in each one of these squares, pattern in each one of these squares to create my little gourd design element. And some of them will be adhered directly to the squares. Some of them will have foam tape, and you'll just see me repeat patterns. So there I'm starting with the star pattern. Again, I want to continue to bring that in to help neutralize and ground the color that's happening. And then I pull in one of those, the pumpkin shape gourd that is cut from the leaf pattern, and I adhere that one directly to the paper, and then I'm going to put some foam on the star one. I want to pull in some of that yellow from the sweater and the sweater pattern, and so I am using the little teeny tiny gourd, and I'm going to adhere that one. Here I'm putting the star up on some foam, and then now you're going to see me adhere that gourd, the little yellow one. Sort of reminds me of one of those butternut squashes. I think that's just too cute. And I need to adhere just a little more foam behind, just so that that doesn't get squished down when it goes into an album. And now I am finally getting to the little yellow one. I thought I had adhered that little guy a few minutes ago. I do put a little bit of foam on that one. And that's another thing, as I work on each one of these 3 little design squares, I continue to use foam on each of them on certain gourds or pumpkins, just for some variety, just for some dimension. And I'm really happy with how these are coming together. And then this one is going up on foam as well. I didn't speed this up intentionally because I wanted you guys to be able to see how I'm selective with pattern and color and repetition. So I'm pulling in orange again. The first square that I started with had orange from the leaves. This pumpkin is the same orange that is coming from the actual background. So I'm working that in. That one gets adhered directly to the square. Then I am pulling in one of the small pumpkins that has the star pattern on it. The star is not like the star of the pattern on here, but you can tell it's that same paper. I put that one up on foam. And then I am going to work in one of the smaller pumpkins that was punched from the leaf pattern. And I am continuing that from the square below. Again, repetition. And now you're going to see me start working on, before I even finish the second square, I'm going to go up to the top square. I'm repeating that star pattern again. And here I'm just looking at one of the tall gourds. And I want to pull that yellow in because I have yellow in the bottom one and I want yellow in the top one. And I choose that one as one of the leaf pattern papers. Now I'm ready to adhere this. I am going to adhere the tall gourd just directly to the paper. And then I will put some foam on the back of that star one. And just for some lift, separation, dimension. And then you will see me choose, do I want one of the small gourds? Do I want to go back with one of the small pumpkin gourds? And I will go back and choose one of those that is cut from the leaf pattern. I think this is a great way, and this border itself would also be a great border when you're down to just scraps, because it literally just uses bits and pieces of paper other than your actual border itself. And I love how this turned out, friends. I absolutely love how this turned out, and it's a great way to use up scraps. So here you're going to see me get that last little leaf pattern one at the top, adhered with some foam. And then I'm going to come in and choose just the right gourd or teeny pumpkin gourd for the center square. And that one ends up being white with a little bit of the leaf pattern on it. There you'll see me choosing, well, I thought I was getting it. I do come back and get that one. Here I'm just sort of dry fitting, auditioning in different shapes and colors. And then I am going to go with one that has the leaf. Maybe this is where I choose it. I didn't realize that I had dry fit so many in here. Again, I want to almost go with a yellow, but I just choose not to put yellow in that one. There is where I choose the one that's going to fit. That one is perfect. Now just cut a piece of foam and attach that with some foam tape. Again, just for some variety and dimension. And this border did not take long at all. Even with cutting several circles and trying to get happy with which circles and which size color circles I wanted to use, it really did not take long to make. Here's just a little close-up of what those pumpkins and or gourds look like that are cut from the designer paper. I love it. I love how it just all pulls feels together and it just feels so pretty. So now I'm pulling out the Autumn Cottage sticker sheet, and I am going to choose how am I going to decorate this circle element, okay? On my page, this is going to be the title element, and I'm just choosing stickers. And right away, I love this tree with those bright orange leaves. I feel like that's just going to pop on here. And then you're going to see me, I wanted to pull some of those other pumpkins, and I thought the size was a little too big in relation to the tree. And so these are going to be, this page is going to have photos of Ben and I and Marley Grace last year in October when we were doing a fall leaf tour and hike at one of our favorite places. And first I pulled the scenic route, and then I thought, no, let's look at one of these other circle titles. And then my eye catches this Autumn Adventures. And I know immediately I want to use that for the title. So I am going to put the scenic route back, and I'm going to go ahead and just stick that tree sticker directly to that circle element. And then I'm going to audition where I want my title. I'm going to pull in my powder pouch, and you will see me take the sticky off the back. And that's just something I like to do whenever I have a larger sticker like this that's going to have foam on it. And that just, when it's in the book, any part that doesn't have foam, it's going to keep it from compressing and sticking to your background element once your book gets heavy. So you'll see me do that with the powder, and then I am going to adhere the title down with foam. And then I will be pulling one more little pumpkin just to sort of, or gourd, to sort of finish that off. Once I get that adhered down to the circle title element. And I really love how this turned out. I didn't have any direction in my mind when I started this. It was just going to be a border that I created. Again, it's the very first Creative Memories border that I've created. Very first border that I've created, period, with these Creative Memories products. And here you're going to see me adhere that final little gourd down with some foam tape. And I am super, super happy with how this border has turned out. I love the colors. It's going to be perfect for the page that I create using this as the title element. And here you have it, friends. My very first ever Creative Memories border using the circle custom cutting system and the Gourd Time Punch. I think it turned out cute. The only thing I think it's missing is some enamel dots, but I will do that when I put the page together. So leave me a comment and tell me what you think.